Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Port Angeles. This is our second take because the camera didn't work. So I'm going to tell the story I started with again. A little boy was having difficulty lifting a heavy stone, and his father came along just then. And he saw that the boy was struggling and he wasn't making it. And he said, "Are you using all your strength?" And the little boy said, "Yes, I am," kind of impatiently. And the father said, "No, you are not. I am right here, just waiting, and you haven't asked me to help you. Right here, just waiting, and you haven't asked me to help you." We have this idea in society of self-reliance. I'm going to do it all myself. I got to pull myself up by my own bootstraps. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's built this country and done a lot of great things because we know we can stand on our own 2 feet. But what happens when we can't? What happens when we need some assistance? So I'm going to tell you a story about my life and a moment that was a turning point for me in recognizing that sometimes it's really okay to ask for help, to accept the help that is always present, tangible and intangible help. So my husband and I were on a trip in Mexico with some friends of ours. They have property down there, and we went down one time to visit that property. They've been there a million times. When they go with friends, they take their truck, and the friends go in another car because there's not a lot of room. And we do walkie-talkies so we can kind of keep in communication. Cell phone reception is not great down there. So we were driving home, and I needed to use the restroom. And we were in the middle of nowhere. There was no restaurant, no gas station, but nature was calling. So we walkie-talkie, pull over, find a spot where I can do my business. So we did. It was a nice big part on the side of the road, a nice kind of scenic area, and on the opposite side was another pullover place. So there's plenty of space, and there was no one around. It was the middle of nowhere in Mexico. And I had on a little shift dress, just a pullover dress, and nothing else, because it was vacation and it was hot, and that was all I was going to wear. So my husband, as I'm getting out of the car to take care of my business, says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm an old camper from way back. I've done this a million times in the woods. I got this handled." He said, "Okay." So I go to the back of the car and I squat down and start to take care of my business, and I realize that my dress has hooked itself under my bum, and I have a perfect pea pocket. And it has very nicely caught everything, just about. So my first thought was, oh, I really should have accepted that help. My hubris and my arrogance is just biting me in the butt right now, so to speak. And so here I am, stuck. I'm trapped. I can't move. What am I going to do? I took a breath. I said, "Honey, you offered help before. Now I could really use your assistance. Would you get another dress out of my suitcase? And I'm just going to drop this one right here and just hold it over my head so I can quickly change." So we're handled. So as I do that, a car pulls up on the other side of the road, full of workers, full of men. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to do what I need to do. So he dropped my dress over my head. I got changed, and everything was fine. We went along our way. As I said, it was a key turning point moment for me, that I really recognized my need to do things myself. This idea that if I ask for help, that means something negative about me. And I think that a lot of us have that it means something negative. Brene Brown, who is an amazing author and does a lot of work with shame and how we react in our lives because of shame. She has a book called The Gifts of Imperfection. And I'm going to read you a quote from her. "One of the greatest barriers to connection is the cultural importance we place on going it alone. Somehow we've come to equate success with not needing anyone. Many of us are willing to extend a helping hand, but we're very reluctant to reach out for help when we need it ourselves. It's as if we divided the world into those who offer help and those who need help." The truth is that we are both. I really like this idea because a lot of my life I was a helper, a fixer, a saver. I took care of other people. I didn't allow other people to take care of me. I'm strong. I can do it myself. I can handle it. My mom very wisely said once, you know, honey, that Superwoman t-shirt you have on underneath your blouse, you have to take it off every once in a while to wash it, or it gets really stinky. So I got clear that there is not a this or that. It's that we are both. We are both people who can help and who sometimes need help, need assistance. Another author says, when we feel weak, we drop our heads on the shoulders of others. Oh, I love that imagery. When we feel weak, we just drop our heads onto the shoulders of others. She says, don't get mad when someone does that. Be honored. For that person trusted you enough to, even if subtly, ask for help. Asking for help means that we have to be willing to trust. To be willing to trust that the person will assist us and won't shame us in the process, won't make us wrong for asking for assistance. That's a big deal. A lot of people in their lives, when they've asked for help, when they've finally been willing to open up to that idea, have been shamed. Well, can't you do it yourself? What are you going to do? Why can't you figure that out? Or some version of that. And this need to be right in this world, in this culture, also precludes, I think, sometimes asking for help, asking for assistance. Are we willing to ask for and accept or receive assistance? What am I trying to prove? What are we trying to prove by doing it all on our own? Are we trying to prove that we're worthy, or that we're strong, or that we have enough vitality, or that we're intelligent enough? What are we trying to prove? The quote from tonight was, asking for help does not mean that we are weak or incompetent. It usually indicates an advanced level of honesty and intelligence. When we are honest, when we are authentic, when we are vulnerable, and we are willing, we are part of the cycle of life. If I only give and I never receive, I am chopping off the flow of my good. I'm not in the flow of life. All of life is giving and receiving. Meister Eckhart, who is an ancient, wise person, says if the only prayer we ever say is thank you, that would be enough. When I became a minister, when I began to get the idea that I was to start my own center, or a center that I was running, it's not ever my own, but when I got clear about that idea, I also got clear that I cannot do this by myself. I got very clear about that. And I started practicing even before I left the center that I was at before. I had this habit before, if I had my arms loaded with stuff, as I would go in a door and somebody would say, oh, can I help you? I'd say, no, I got it. And I'd struggle my way in. Now, I say, yes, thank you. And I hand it over. Can I help? Yes, thank you. And I have to make that a practice. I have to make that a practice of consciously being willing to accept and receive assistance. Instead of saying, no, I got this handled. Oh, that's fine. Oh, I don't want to be a bother. Yes, thank you. Brother Steindl Rast, I don't know that I pronounced that correctly, but he doesn't care. As another wise person says, we aren't grateful because we're happy or because our life is going well. We're happy because we're grateful. We're not grateful because we're happy. We're happy because we're grateful. We say thank you for the good that's coming into our lives. That's what gives us that deep sense of satisfaction. Expressing our gratitude, being willing to show our appreciation, both in the giving and in the receiving. I give compliments a lot. When I'm out in the street, if I see somebody and they have on a shirt I like, or I think their hair is cute, or whatever, or the color looks good, I'll say, oh, that looks great on you. And a lot of times people are surprised. But I'm just showing my appreciation. I don't need them to do anything, but if they say thank you, that's great. We've now had an exchange, a give and a take. We've both given and we've both received in that process. The Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes says there is a divine principle, and what it does for us, it must do through us. Let's take a breath on that. What it does for us, it must do through us. The only way that spirit, this amazing presence that infuses all of life, can do anything is through us, through life, through the world that is created. We are the hands, the feet, the heart, the activity of spirit that can give and receive, that can be part of this divine principle of givingness. Gratitude is a way of expressing generosity, being grateful for things in our life, saying thank you when we are offered assistance. There is assistance pressing up against us at every single moment of our life. Tangible assistance and intangible assistance. And it is up to us to be willing to receive it, to say yes, thank you, spirit, thank you, person, thank you, dog. Whatever the event is, whatever the circumstance, if we pay attention, we begin to see this support everywhere. If we think, I'm alone, nobody's ever there for me, that's what we're going to get. We will not see all of the actual support that is right there. It will become invisible to us. So our opportunity is to open up, to affirm over and over again, there is tangible and intangible support right here for me. And it is up to me to open up to it. And then see what happens. Do it as an experiment. Try this practice. Brene Brown again says, until we can receive with an open heart, we're never really giving with an open heart. When we attach judgment to receiving help, we knowingly or unknowingly attach judgment to giving help. That's subtle. If I'm not able to accept it, I might be resentful when I have to give it, when I choose to give it. I might have some judgment about it and about the person. If I see someone that I'm assisting as less than instead of the same as me, I have judgment. And I'm not willing to see what gifts they might be able to give me. Oh, I can help those that are less fortunate than me. No. Every person, every being has a gift, has value. And so when we offer assistance, what can we also receive in return? There are many philosophies that talk about lifting up our eyes. NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, talks about this. And it's in the Bible. I lift mine eyes from whence cometh my help. I lift mine eyes to the mountains. Well, it doesn't have to be mountains, but we lift our eyes up. If I've got something going on and I'm only focused down here, I'm in my doldrums, I'm in my nobody's helping me, I'm all alone in this, I have to do it all myself, I'm looking down, I can't possibly see all the good that is right in front of my face. But if I lift up my eyes, lift my eyes to something else, I will begin to see something new. That's also a practice. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like there's nothing there for you, there's nobody to help me, lift your eyes up. See what shows up. I never say her name right, so I'm just going to be forgiven right now. Iyanla Van Zandt. I don't know that that's right. Anyway, Miss Van Zandt. She says, In my deepest, darkest moments, what really got me through was prayer. Sometimes my prayer was, help me. Sometimes a prayer was, thank you. What I discovered is that intimate connection and communication with my Creator will always get me through because I know my support, my help is just a prayer away. Yes, thank you. Let's practice that a couple of times. Yes, thank you. Can I help you? Yes, thank you. One more time. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
That is a practice I invite you into this week. Notice what it feels like to be willing to receive, to be a receiver, so that you're part of the entire flow of life. Take a breath. Thank you. This is our time for conscious giving. This is a practice that we do every week because, again, we are part of this flow of life. We give and we receive. We just know how this works. So we have a conscious giving prayer in our program, and I'm going to invite you to say this with me. I am open to give. I am open to receive. I am grateful to be in the flow of life, giving to itself, through and as me. Good. So I invite you to take whatever gifts you're giving today, hold them on your heart. We give through many ways: time, talent, treasure. We're going to say this prayer one more time as we just hold these gifts close to our chest. I am open to give. I am open to receive. I am grateful to be in the flow of life giving to itself, through and as me. Thank you.